Welcome to African Special Connections TV. My name is Paulvin. In case you have joined me, today I want us to talk about the eclipse tomorrow. So invite your people, invite your friends, let them come so that we learn. What at all does this eclipse mean? Is there any ancient wisdom about it? Is there any ancient wisdom about it? Did our ancestors even have knowledge about this kind of stuff, like eclipse? What does it even mean for the world and for individuals when we are in eclipse or when there is an eclipse? Right, now before we do anything serious, let's go ahead and share this video around. So let me go ahead and post the video on my YouTube channel and tell my people that I'm alive, they should come and watch and share. In case you have joined me, please, this is the time of sharing. This is the time of sharing. Let's go ahead and share. Let's go ahead and share. In case you have joined, please kindly help me share. We are coming to learn about the eclipse, the solar eclipse happening tomorrow, 8th April 2024. So if you have joined me, help me share, and I bet you are going to learn a lot. All right. Now, those who have joined me on Facebook, kindly tap on your screens and help me share. Tap on your screen and help me share. Now, tomorrow, some people are going into darkness. Some people are going into darkness. Some people have tormented the universe for ages. Tomorrow is marking, even though their fall have begun, tomorrow is marking the official signing of their walking into darkness. And some people are also going into lights. Who are those? Some people are going into darkness tomorrow, and some people are going into lights. Are you part of those going into darkness? Are you part of those going into light? Who are those tomorrow going into darkness, and who are those tomorrow going into light? Now, what is the significance of eclipse in human life? You see, among humans, we have two major eclipses that happen in our life, and both are solar. When the moon comes between the sun and the earth to block the sun from reaching the earth, that's what happens, that we call solar eclipse, right? Now, this particular thing happens in every human's life twice. Every human being, no matter when you are born, this happens in your life twice. No matter when you are born, this happens in your life twice. That's twice for every human being. But for those who are awake, it happens to their life almost every time. Eclipse of the sun, solar eclipse. Right, now tomorrow there's going to be a total solar eclipse around the hours of 15:42. That's when it will partially begin. And the main eclipse will be around the hours of 18:18. That's 6:18 p.m. That's when the main will be, according to information from, let me put it on the screen. Okay, so according to information on Google, the eclipse will happen partially. It will start around 3:42 p.m. 3:42 p.m. and then it will totally begin around 4:38 right? Now the greatest eclipse will be witnessed around 18:18, which is 6:18 p.m. And then it will totally end around 7:55. However, it is being said the eclipse will only last for about 4 minutes. So these are the meteorological numbers, whatever it is. But what does this mean? What does this mean? What does the eclipse mean at all? And I told you already that the eclipse happens in every human's life twice. All right. Now I explain, how do you know that eclipse happens in every human's life twice? When you understand what an eclipse is, you know what I mean, right? Now this is what I mean. You see, eclipse, the solar eclipse is a separation of the earth, or a disconnect of the earth from the sun by the moon. So when the moon comes in the middle, let me see if I can put it on the screen. Okay, I was trying to get a picture of it, but when the moon comes in the middle, just know it like that, all right? When the moon comes in the middle of the sun and the earth, then we have a total, we have a solar eclipse. Now, when does this happen in the life of a human, right? At pregnancy stage, when a woman is pregnant and the baby is in the tummy, you see, the stomach looks like a universe, right? Okay, that's a representation of the earth, round like that, and the sun is outside of the earth, right? But whatever is inside of that stomach is being blocked away from the sun. So the foreskin of the mother will be the moon. All right, will be the moon, and within the womb will represent earth. So that's a blockade of the sun, or a separation of the sun from the earth, and then the human inside there will never experience the sun. That's a solar eclipse. When again does it happen? You see, there is something that lives in every human being. That's a fire element, a fire energy, which represents the sun. And that thing is the human soul. The human soul with the breath of life together. Right? Now the breath of life is an oxygen that fans the human soul. The egg of life, which is a fire energy. So the oxygen of the breath of life is supposed to fan the egg and make sure that the egg does not go off, the ember does not go off, so that it keeps the light up. Right? So they are almost always together. Now, the human body is a representation of the earth. Of earth. Right? So when death happens, what happens is that the soul, together with the breath of life, leaves the body, which is the earth alone. There is a separation between the fire energy, which is the sun in the human body, and the earth. That's eclipse. Darkness has come. So the individual goes into the world of darkness. That's the ancestral world. That's solar eclipse. It represents total change. So the moment a child is born, child leaves this body and comes into this universe, the child begins to cry. Total change of environment. Total change of environment. The moment the child again, the child that lives within this body, leaves the body alone, and the body falls down, there is cry everywhere. This time, not by the child himself, by the people around the child. Another total darkness. Change. So anytime that eclipse happens, someone must cry, either by you yourself or the people around you. So this eclipse is going to happen tomorrow too. Some group of people are going to cry, and some are going to be happy. And who are those? People are going into darkness tomorrow. People are going into light tomorrow. Who are those? Who are those? Now, what you must understand is that per what astrology is saying, this eclipse happens every 8 to 9 years. I mean, I don't mean every 8 to 9 years. I mean, when the year calculates and it ends in 8 or it ends in 9, mostly that's when the solar eclipse happened. So the last one that happens was in 2006. And when you add 200 to 6, you get 8. And now it is happening in 2024. So 224 is 8. So when the year calculates to end in 8 or 9, that's when this eclipse normally happens. All right, so you can do the rest of the calculations yourself. You can just go on Google and find out the rest of the eclipse that happened in the world, and you check the years that they happened, whether they ended in 8 or 9, and you come and tell me that I'm lying. Come and leave your comments here. All right. Okay. Now, this eclipse is a significance showing that there is power that's going to shift hands. Now, which country has the global power now? That country is going to be doomed. So, if you know the country that is going to be doomed, put at the comment section. We are not happy for anybody's downfall, but we are happy that they themselves said power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. It is the Westerners that taught us this mindset that when power stagnates, it begins to corrupt. Power has stagnated in the West for so many years now, and it has corrupted the West so much that the rest of the world is suffocating. Therefore, the rest of the world is begging for power to change hands, and power has already begun to change hands. And tomorrow, it is happening live. It is being formal. It is being signed away into the hands of China. The destiny of the universe is going into the hands of China, and it will go away for at least a century and a half. People want to say for 2 centuries or for 200 years, but I would want to say at least a century and a half. So power is being signed away from the hands of America into the hands of Asia, and it will be led by China alongside Russia. And this power that is going away into the hands of China, it's not only going into the hands of China to stay, because that's not where the power is meant to settle. Power is going back to those that it belongs to, and it is going back to the people of color, but it has to rest on the way. And where it is going to rest, the junction where it is going to rest, that's where we have China benefiting until it comes back to Ghana in Africa, and it will never leave again. Until it comes back to Ghana in Africa, and it will never leave again. If you have noticed something going on in this universe, you realize that there is this wake-up call to people of color, to black people around the universe, around the world. And this wake-up call, you can see that it began somewhere in 1947, in the 1940s, and it was being garnered and engineered by Africans in the diaspora, but it was headquartered in Ghana, spearheaded by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. It was the independence struggle, and Ghana became the first sub-Saharan country to gain its independence, or to gain her independence. And another independence struggle has begun. This time it is taking effect so much on social media. And this is the spiritual independence struggle. And tomorrow the sun is going to sign that contract fully to change power. So this life is telling black people that there is hope. There is hope. Don't give up yet. There is hope. Power is going into the hands of black people, but it will not land in the hands of black people until it has rested at the junction of China for centuries, at most 2 centuries. Now, China rests on the number 2 of the universe. Why am I saying this? The first race to be created in this universe is the black race. It is out of the black race that we have the Asians. The Asians came out of the black race. And the Caucasians came out of the Asians. So the black race represents number 1. That's the sun. That's why Sunday is the first day. And the Asians represent number 2. That is the moon. And the Caucasians represent number 3. And that is Venus. Right? Now, what am I saying? What am I saying at all? So, the black race are the roots of the universe. The Asians are the stem of the universe. The Caucasians are the leaves of the universe. Currently, it is the leaves of the universe that's flourishing. And power is descending back to the roots. But it has to pass through the stem before it gets to the roots. So power is passing through the stem, Asia. And within the stem, it will rest at China before it gets to the roots. The roots, where it will rest in the hands of Ghana. Among black people, it will rest in the hands of Ghana. So Africans in the diaspora, this is something that you people are going to have something to do with. You will say, oh, why are black Africans always waiting for people to come and save them? Well, it is part of your destiny. It is part of your destiny. So power is coming back to the roots, passing through the stem. But there are some part of the roots that have migrated from the root to the stem, from the root to the apex of this universal tree, the leaves. And these people are what we call Africans in the diaspora, in the West. Right? Now, the leaves of this universe must fall, must go brown and fall. But because it is still being supported by the roots, the universe is confused. The universe does not know what to do. So the universe caused Ghana to do the year of return, where the leaves, which have the roots, which have found themselves on top of the tree at the apex, among the leaves, must come down. But these roots are still being adamant. They don't want to come back home. They are resisting arrest. So the kingdom is suffering violence, and violence is going to take it by force or by force. Now, what must you do? What must you do through this eclipse? What must you do? If you have realized today, people have been very, very down. Today, I have been very, very down the whole day. I kept feeling dizzy. I kept feeling down. My system was broken until I empowered myself to come and do this video. David, for me, indeed, there is a wake-up call. Yes, there is a wake-up call. Thanks, brother. So what are the effects of this eclipse? This eclipse does not only signify power change, it also signifies negativity and positivity. You choose to be with either one. You choose to stay with the negativity, or you choose to be in the positivity. It's both light and darkness, because darkness is happening within the daytime. So you either choose to stay with the daytime, or you choose to stay in the darkness. Disease is going to be rampant after this eclipse. Disease is going to be rampant after this eclipse around the world. People will be creating nonsense diseases to try to control population again. It is going to happen. Watch out for it. Diseases. Now, because this eclipse itself is a revolution eclipse, this eclipse is calling for a rebel. So there will be war around. The war that we are seeing, right, it's going to be intensified, because this eclipse is an eclipse of revolution. It's changing hands, the hands of power. And normally, when people are in power, they subdue and suppress others. And before power will change hands, some people must fight for it. So this eclipse is an eclipse of revolution. There's going to be military junta around Africa. There's going to be several military rules. What we've seen among Niger, what we've seen in Burkina Faso, what we are seeing in where else? Tell me. Think they are trained at Burkina Faso, Niger, and Mali. We are going to see more. The Rock of Ages, who call themselves presidents in Africa, are going to fall because the people are going to rise because they know that power is coming in their hands. Power is coming back into their hands, and these leaders are not prepared to welcome that power. Therefore, the youths, the young ones, will rise against the old men, whom are called the Rock of Ages. So you will see many military rules around Africa sprouting up, and people of Africa are going to vote for young blood. They'll be voting for young bloods who will be revolutionary. Did I say revolutionary? Excuse me. Who will be very, very revolutionary. All right? And when there is revolution, there is always consciousness, because people must be conscious before they fight for their right. People must be conscious before they start fighting for what is due them. Raphael Amato, Herald is coming. Cosmic revolution, inspiring spiritual evolution. Good. You know what you're saying? True. Because this eclipse is an eclipse of revolution, before people can start fighting for what is due them, they should be conscious. So people are going to wake up from religion into spirituality. And the energies around them will give them dreams, will give them visions for the future. People will want to inspire and aspire to be greater than what they are. And black people will start engineering. They will start technology. People will start bringing out technology that people don't understand how black people are doing this. And ECOWAS is going to be led with technology that the world will not understand where it is coming from, where black people are getting those. The archives of the universe that black people buried is still buried within black people's DNA. The clay tablets that the Westerners are having is just a section of the whole archives. Black people are going deep down within themselves. They are going to bring those archives out for real. The world will witness new technologies that they will never be able to understand. And it will not be artificial intelligence. It is going to be natural intelligence. NI. Natural intelligence. So cosmic wisdom is going to sprout again. Now, when there is a revolution, there is always struggle among the masses. And when there is struggle, some people will fall. And when there is struggle, people will take more than they're supposed to take. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that there is going to be hunger. So famine is going to happen. And this famine will be famine of death. Famine that will happen, that people will not get food to eat. What happened in 1983 is not going to be the same. It's something that's going to be worse. The hunger will happen that the West will come to Africa to beg for food. So Africans go into famine quickly. Because anytime that the power must change hands, anytime that this power must change hands, something must happen in this universe that the cosmic intelligence will rest on the heads of some people. That if they are able to ascend into this intelligence, they will be able to prepare themselves so that the universe will put them in a position where that when power finally changes hands, they are willing to grab it. The Europeans knew this. The Americans knew this. That's why they brought to Africa the inorganic seeds, the GMOs, so that by the time that this hunger happens, Africans do not have seeds to plant on their lands again. So the Africans will have to run back to the West to go and ask for the GMO seeds to plant in their lands. And the West will now dictate to Africa that we are going to give you the seed. However, when you plant the seed, we want to have a contract with you that you will sell back the seeds to us as food. So they have influenced Africa to do away with all their organic seeds. And now before an African farmer can go to farm, the African farmer needs seeds that are bought from the stores. My people, start waking up. Start waking up. If you are a farmer, start chasing after the old organic seeds. Because these GMO seeds that they are bringing you, when the hunger is here, you cannot go for the use of your field and plant again, because the GMO seeds are also part of artificial intelligence. When you put it back in the ground, it doesn't do well. So you still need to go back to them and ask for seeds before you can plant and flourish. So Africans, start chasing the organic seeds that you are beginning to throw away. Some countries in Africa, you cannot find one organic seed of maize. They've thrown all the organic seeds away. They knew it was going to happen this way. Nobody is more spiritual than the European. You people think that they are not spiritual. They do astrology in toto, but they do it behind closed doors. So they foretell or they foretold the future of Africa, the future of the universe, and they knew that hunger is coming to switch the hands of power and put it back in the hands of the black people. So they came to Africa and told you that your seeds that you are having are not yielding big enough. Therefore, throw them away. We have agriculture, what they call agric. We have GMO seed for you. That when you put one coconut in the soil, by the time of 3-4 years, coconut is sprouting fruit. When you put maize in the earth, by the time of 1 month, 2-3 months, you are having big seeds. So the farmers began to throw all the organic seeds away. They told them that your cocoa seeds, that takes 6-8 years to sprout fruits. We have new GMO seeds that when you put them in the ground, 2-3 years, we call them the old man will eat. Old man will eat. 2-3 years, you begin to get cocoa seeds and sell for money. So our people have begun throwing their old cocoa seeds away. Go back for the organic seeds. I'm telling you, else Africa will be sorry. We said power will come in your hands within the span of 2 centuries, right? But it depends on how prepared you are. If not, after 2 centuries, that's when power will still start shifting small. But when Africans are smart enough, power will land in their hands solid enough earlier than 2 centuries. So go back for your organic seeds and start planting, because Europe will start coming to you for seeds, for food. Check the story of Egypt and Joseph in the Bible. When the brothers of Joseph went back to Egypt for food, and Joseph was able to punish them. So this time, when the West come to Africa for food, then Africa has the right to dictate to the West that this is what we need from you. Give us this or that and that and that before we give you food. Else you are going into extinction. But as usual, my dear Africans will go and follow the war. That will happen between Europe and the Asians. And they will be caught up in the middle of the war. And this time, they will lose together with the universe. I mean, with the rest of the world. Meanwhile, this war is not supposed to be an African war. It's a European war and it's an Asian war. It's a war between the leaves and the stem. But the root will still go and get itself entangled in it. My dear Africans, wake up call to you. Wake up. Now, if you are an African, start learning your local language. Because one local language is going to trend the whole world. And that language is the Akan language. Because I told you, this power, when it rests in Africa, it will rest in the middle of Africa, in Ghana. And the tribe or the language that will rule together with this power will be the Akan language. I am an Ewe.